for FFA members, if you can hear me clap once, if you hear me clap twice, don't ever use that in the Senior Citizen Center, because I promise you, you will not get a response. Let me illustrate. If you can hear me clap once, huh? I'm just kidding. Don't ever use it. Well, man, I have to tell you what, the food was awesome tonight. Did you guys enjoy the pork chops? Man, I was thinking of a pig who can do karate, because, man, that was a pork chop, man. It was awesome, man. Off the hook, none of you guys got that joke. Boy, we're still sleeping. We're already in evening time. My goodness. Well, let me tell you something. I'm so excited to be here this evening. This is my 8th banquet this week, and let me tell you something. The food is awesome. The people I get to be with is awesome, and I get to have some great conversations with people. And at the conversation I was having at my table just a little while ago, we were talking about goats. And a lot of people don't know this about me, but I showed goats in high school. Love to show goats. That was my deal, my SAE. And I've had many great experiences showing goats. And I showed market weather goats. So it was just a great thing to do. And I always thought, wouldn't it be so cool if you could show fainting goats? Wouldn't it be hilarious if you could just take a fainting goat, bring one of those, wonderful looking goats, and you bring in the show ring, and the judge is looking at the goats, and all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, a nice goat. My goodness, what is that? And he goes over there and begins to start judging it out. And as he begins to feel it, man, it just faints right there. First place. Oh, I thought that was hilarious. If an FFA member could go in there, I would pay money to go see that done. And just a great experience. And I think like that a lot. And people think, Randy, you are so goofy. And the fact of the matter is I am goofy, because I believe that if you live life to the fullest, you can have a great time. As a matter of fact, this year getting to serve as a state officer, and Mr. Coleman Hickman can probably relate to what I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. I don't know how many years heard of Alumni Camp. How many years been to Alumni Camp? A few people. If you don't know what Alumni Camp is, it's basically a camp that we state officers put on in Wagner, Oklahoma. And we have students that come along from all across the state. We have students that come from all different backgrounds, where they're a broken home, maybe not such a great grades, maybe they come in from all different situations. And we teach them about leadership skills. We put them in small group sessions, they have a great time, and we really put them in a positive, enthusiastic environment. And I don't know about you, but being a state officer and getting to do this, it's amazing. Oh man, I love it. It's probably one of my highlights of this year. And I remember we're getting to the end of session 2. There's 4 sessions to Alumni Camp, which means we just got done with the first week. We are so excited. We are positive. We're pumped up, having a great time. And then we're getting to a break. Our Mr. Boggs, our supervisor, says, okay guys, go ahead into town, have a good time, enjoy yourself, go relax a little bit. I'm like, okay, we can go do that. We're still excited, stoked, having a great time. We go back to the city of Wagner, and we still haven't really left the FFA world, if you know what I mean. So we walk into Walmart, and how many here like going to Walmart? That is the place to go. Small town America, I tell you what, Walmart, that is where the fun arrives. We walk into Walmart, and we got this guy who says, just roll down, no one tell them, welcome to Walmart. It just really made me start thinking, what if we had a guy in there who was just super excited to work at Walmart? You walk in, all of a sudden, you just, oh, come on, Susie, we're going into Walmart. All of a sudden, welcome to Walmart. We're so glad you're here to save money, live better, always low prices. We just have a great time. Scare the living daylights out of people. It would be awesome, right? People are thinking, oh my goodness, this guy's on something. I'm not, I promise. Anyway, but I remember going into Walmart with the team, and I see this old man. And this old man, he's in his wheelchair, he's wheeling and dealing, and that's probably not a good illustration, never mind. He's wheeling through the aisle, and as he's coming through the aisle, I noticed that he's beginning to come to a part where there's this huge, display of peanuts. And I can see that as he's wheeling through the aisle, that it's going to be somewhat of a wreck, and I go over there and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is not going to be good. So trying to be like the State Farm insurance, like a good neighbor, Brandon is there. And I walk over there and I was like, oh sir, here, let me move you around. You're going to hit those peanuts. And the response I get is, well, thank you, son. I really appreciate that. And I said, well, no problem, sir. Welcome to Walmart. And at that point, my state officer team was like, the Walmart greeter, there he is. So at that point, my label, my term that year was the Walmart greeter. And why do I tell you that story? Sure, I like to have a lot of fun, I like to joke around, but I tell you that because at that point, I was enthusiastic about life. I was so excited, positive, glad to be in any type of situation. And the question I have for you is, how many times do we feel like that in our life? How many times do we truly feel happy? A lot of times in life, I think the Founding Fathers said it best, that we're in the pursuit of happiness, and that's basically sums up life. And I don't know about y'all, but when I see a blue and gold jacket, I see life. I see students who are excited to be living. I see students who have a bright future. And I don't know how many here actually watch the news. How many here watch the news? Some people. It's not very positive, is it? It's pretty low-key, pretty negative. They're basically saying, doom and gloom, tomorrow the world's coming to an end. There's no hope for the future. That's the message I get from the news, and it's nothing very positive. But I'm here to tell you, when I see a blue and gold jacket, I see hope for the future. Which brings me to my second point. Whenever I see the blue and gold jacket, I see liberty. I see freedom. I see students who have the right to participate in these great events that we have, like alumni camp, like public speaking, like show and goes, like doing all these opportunities that we have. They have the freedom and the right to participate in something great. Which brings me to my third point, the pursuit of happiness. And you all are probably thinking, oh my goodness, Brandon, a history lesson? Are you kidding me? School's about to be out. I won't give you the history lesson, but I want to make a very important point. The pursuit of happiness consumes many different people. We try to get the greatest car, we try to get the best job, we try to get everything money can buy. But you know what? You can have life, you can have liberty, but if you do not have a pursuit in your life, then I promise you, you will not succeed. I remember a story that my dad told me. My dad's a pastor, so the sermon I hear on Sunday morning is the sermon I hear all week long. And I remember one time he was telling me, he said, son, there was an owner who had 3 servants. He was going on a very long journey, and he gave all of his wealth entrusted to his servants. And he told them to take care of it and make sure that it was all taken care of as long as he was on his trip. And as he began to go on his trip, he noticed that the 3 servants were very diligent. He said, okay, sir, we'll take care of it. We'll get it under control. And as he leaves, these servants begin to talk. They're like, well, I wonder what I can do with it. And the one servant says, well, okay, I'm going to go invest my money in something great. I'm going to make it awesome. The second servant says, okay, I can do that, but I just won't put as much work into it. And the last servant says, okay, I'm just going to go bury it. You know, it's better if it's just hidden, safe, nobody can steal it. I'll be doing a good job. The owner will be very impressed. And then when the owner comes back, he sees the first servant. The first servant gives him 10 times the amount that he had. The investment had grown. It's like, well done, my good and faithful servant. You've done a great job. He comes to the second servant. He says, what have you done with my money? And he says, well, sir, I made it grow 5 times. My goodness, great job. Way to go. You've done very well. And then he gets to the final servant. As he gets to the final servant, he says, well, son, what did you do for me? He said, well, sir, I hid it. I buried it down here so nobody could get it. It's out of sight, safe. We have all the money that you gave me. The owner was very disappointed. As a matter of fact, he said, well, son, you know, you could at least put it in the bank where it could have gained some interest. At that point, the servant was very discouraged, walked away, and the owner was very displeased with what he was doing. The moral of the story, I tell you, is that you can have the resources, you can have the life, you can have the liberty, but if you do not have the pursuit, you cannot do anything. I'm here to tell you that this chapter has a lot of resources. You got a lot going for you, but I'm here to tell you, don't give up yet. Because I believe, just as that theme over there says, I believe in the future of agriculture, the theme isn't over yet. You can still believe in yourself. You know, I'm here to tell you that I was introduced as state president, but I don't come here with a title. I come with a testimony that if a boy from Boylton, Oklahoma can do it, I promise you that each and every one of you can do it as well. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for inviting me. I wish you all the best. Have a great banquet. God bless.